Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Matthew Mumbles. My name is Matthew, and on this podcast show, we pretty much just talk about whatever we want. Whether it be my own life stories, my own interests, my own projects, whatever is happening. I talk about it, and you guys listen to it. That being said, today's topic is about IDFB. Now, if you guys do not know what IDFB is, or the world of BFDI, let me just, give you a little summary. BFDI is this online animated series inspired by Total Drama Island and Survivor, and has like these inanimate objects competing for various prizes, the main one being Dream Island, in seasons 1 and 2 at least. So the later seasons will have a different prize. BFB has obviously the BFDI and the BFB, and Teapot has Two's Power as the prize. But the first two seasons have Dream Island as the prize. With that being said, I'm going to be talking about Season 3, which is IDFB, and how this season, in my opinion, really deserves to come back. And there's a lot of reasons for this, and I'm going to kind of go through them in this video, or podcast, whatever you want to call it. With that being said, IDFB is the season that basically revived BFDI. It was the first BFDI episode in about 3 years, and it was uploaded on September 1st, 2016. And that was basically, even though IDFB itself had a hiatus of its own until BFB rolled around, I feel like BFB kind of stole the spotlight from IDFB, and then there was like a lot of speculation if IDFB was going to come back. The creators themselves said that there was going to be a lot more. We just didn't know when it was coming. So years go by, BFB gets split, Teapot gets shown off, and it's basically seeming like IDFB had absolutely no chance of getting revived. Then comes a post by Jack and Jellyfy. I think it was back in late August, early September, saying that there was going to be a new episode coming out the following day. And in the background was Yoil City. This prompted so many people in the OSC to believe that IDFB was finally coming back. After, 7 years at that point? IDFB was going to come back. IDFB 2 was finally going to return. We all expected it, well, almost all of us. I'll get back into that in a sec. Even myself, I posted on Twitter, or I guess X, IDFB2, IDFB2, please be IDFB2, with the caption of, the picture. And we even got it trending. IDFB2 was trending on Twitter. And the craze and hype was so big, they didn't outright say it was going to be IDFB2. It was just merely based on speculation. Like, I was fine with it, The return of Yoil City was at least something I was really anticipating. Yeah, I know we got Yoil Land, but there's just something about Yoil City that just makes it so much of a different environment compared to Goiki itself. But rolling back, the episode comes out really late at night. I actually stayed up, literally sacrificing my sleep hours just to wait for this new episode. I get my notification. I expected IDFB2. BFDI A6. Well rested. Obviously, a lot of people were kind of disappointed, but welcomed BFDI A6 because this was the 10th year anniversary of BFDI A6's supposed release date. So getting this episode, out there better late than never was absolutely a warm welcome in any regard. But then that kind of left IDFB in the dust. What happens to IDFB next? Will IDFB coming back? Well, I honestly say, yeah, there's a good chance it might. Now, this is purely coming off my own speculation and what I've gathered from information from the past, like sources like Michael and Carrie themselves. The fact that they were, here's one of my good points. BFDI A6 was confirmed to have happened. Like Pokey, when Pokey was one of the higher ups at Jack and Jellyfy, Pokey confirmed that, yeah, BFDIA 6 canonically happened, and they even alluded to that in IDFB 1, saying that, the viewers have no idea who was eliminated in BFDIA 6, and, the voting results were there. It confirmed that it actually happened. Puffball was sent to the TLC, Locker of Losers. It's basically a cell within a cell. There we go. So that confirms that the episode did canonically happen. We just didn't know what happened in it until literally just a month ago. 2 months ago, actually. So now that we have BFDIA 6, which still canonically takes place in between BFDIA 5E and IDFB 1, and of course we just got BFDIA 7, which means, yes, BFDIA will be finishing. That just begs the question, will IDFB return? Yes, I think it will. And again, that's a good point. The fact that they decided to bring back BFDIA after 10 years. 10 years after no episodes. That BFDIA episodes, I should probably clarify. Because, we all thought BFDIA was canceled. And, yeah, they even said themselves, seasons 1 and 2 were closed. 1 and 2 being BFDI and BFDIA. So we thought it was canceled. Gone for good. Until, guess what? They decide to bring it back. And we're getting these new episodes again. In the classic style, which I think I can speak for all of us when we say that it's a great style. The classic BFDI limbs, the classic looks. It feels very early 2010s, and I like that. That all being said, IDFB really, really, really has some potential here. Because now if they're bringing back the old season of BFDIA, it's fair to say that after BFDIA ends, of course they are going to have to take a break, it happened with BFB, that they're going to be probably bringing back IDFB. Because that season, for one, has so many questions. We're talking such a huge gap between IDFB and BFB. We go from in Yoil City, where everyone's just kind of living their lives, wherever it may be, and then we go to back in Goiki, where things look way different, and then 4X, Arrival, that so on and so forth. So how do we go from IDFB 1 to BFB 1? There's a lot of story, a huge gap that they could very well explore, It doesn't not have to be a story, a challenge-based thing, like a competition. But it's most certainly plausible that they can, in fact, fill this gap. Because, think about it this way. I heard, a huge reason why they don't bring back IDFB, at least not right now, is because that there's no competition. There's not really, a story to follow like that. In my opinion, they could easily definitely do, a lore-based story for this one. Because IDFB set the groundwork for that sort of thing. The BFDI shorts, yeah, those are, episodic. They don't really have, a challenge, plot. But those are, not canon to the actual story of BFDI. IDFB, you could explore more lore. You could maybe explain, the backstory of Yoil City. You could do so much with it. Even Bozo, I guess the precursor to Golf Ball. So, you could explore that. You could explore a lot of things, in my opinion. It really all depends on where they want to take IDFB. If they just want to leave it as a one-episode thing, I guess that's fine. But after the craziness, all the hype, we got it trending on Twitter, they know the hype around IDFB too. They know how much people want it, even after all these years. It is the episode that revived BFDI to what it is, or at least kickstarted it. I definitely think BFB definitely revived most of it, and then T.O.S.G kind of carried on that torch. But IDFB was the stepping ground, coming back into the object show mainstream and just making these episodes again. So in my opinion, IDFB definitely does deserve the revival. It definitely does deserve it. Come up with storylines. There's a ton of object shows that are not competition based and are much more story based. It's proof that it can be done. You just got to find a way to actually do it. Now, with that all being said, that's just my ramble. That's what I do on this podcast. If you guys like what you listen to, definitely subscribe to the channel. Jesus loves you. God bless you all. Go out there and spread the gospel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.